Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Madison Square Garden, New York City. Tonight, 29 April, year 2000. Panics of USA, main events, and your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, present two men. The two combined biggest men in boxing history, facing each other for one title. The one true title, the legitimate, universally recognized, undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission, the WBC, the IBF, and the IBO. Presented in association with TVKO pay-per-view from HBO Sports and HBO World Championship Boxing. At ringside, the three judges assigned to score this 12-round bout on the 10-point must system are Anek Hongtongkam, Melvina Lathan, and Steve Weisfeld. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Arthur Mercanti Jr. And now, from Madison Square Garden, New York City, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trimmed with blue. He stands 6 feet 7 inches tall and weighs 250 pounds. He comes to the ring tonight with a perfect professional record consisting of 31 bouts, 31 victories, including 22 knockouts, and he has held the world title belt of the IBC. Ladies and gentlemen, from Norristown, PA, USA, here is the top-rated world contender, the undefeated challenger, Michael Grant. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, standing tall at 6 feet 5 inches and weighing in at 247 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one with 37 bouts. He has 35 victories, including 27 knockouts, only one defeat with one draw while capturing 4 world championship title belts. Ladies and gentlemen, from East London, England, presenting the universally recognized, reigning and defending, undisputed, true heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
Second here, everybody else out. Let's clear the ring first.
Now watch here, Michael Grant usually says,
okay?
God bless you to his opponent at the end of the instructions.
Good evening, gentlemen. You two are big men. Let's have a nice, clean fight. Good luck to the both of you. God bless.
He did say it as well. Didn't Mike Tyson used to do that as well?
I don't think so. I don't think he did.
Judge ready. Judge ready here.
Very emotional, Michael Grant looks. 27 years of age from Norristown, Pennsylvania. And Lennox Lewis defending his territory. Grant says he'll put pressure on early on. Good jab and a good right hand and a left hook from Grant. Lewis having to take those shots early on.
Well, he's true to his word. This is what he said he was going to do. This is what he trained for.
Keep it clean. Step back, Lennox.
Grant with the blue waistband, for those of you who may need the identification. It can't be many. Right hand from Lewis. Grant's whole strategy based on speed and work rate to make Lewis fight at a pace he may not like. He's looked a bit sloppy defensively early on here, Lennox.
Break. Step back now.
Grant has a way of stopping opponents late in fights. Lewis may not be able to be too languid
Stop holding now.
tonight,
Stop leaning down, Lennox.
too relaxed about it. Can't afford to drift.
Well, Lennox has got to get his jab working, got to get his
Step back.
boxing going, start dominating behind that jab. It's a very educated punch.
Break. Come on, let's stop holding now, man. We're champs. Let's
This
go.
might be interesting too. Grant at 6'7", looking to become the tallest world heavyweight champion in history. If he gets there, beating Jess Willard years and years ago. Great right uppercut and a clubbing right from Lennox Lewis, and Grant is laid out in the very first round. Can he get up from that?
4,
The count is at 5, 6, 7. He's all over the place. Does he know where he is? I don't think so. He was down against Gallotta. He breathes heavily. Lewis just gives him a second more. He's looking to just pick the punches here. Lennox Lewis.
Break.
More clubbing race, and Grant's gone again. He's gone again. He'll have to take another count because only the ropes kept him up.
4, 5.
Can he get through this? There is
7.
45 seconds left in the round now. There's no 3 knockdown rule in effect. Another knockdown doesn't necessarily finish it, but Lewis has got him here, just as he had Andrew Gallotta. Grant down twice in the round and in crisis. Lewis has to go for him here and try to finish it off. What is he waiting for a second there? He's looking to just pick the shots. Grant is absolutely all over the place.
And he's out on his
Oh,
feet.
that's it, surely. Huge right hand. 3 knockdowns in the round.
4, 5.
The count is 5. Is he going to make it? The bell's going to go any second too. He gets up at 8 and the bell goes. And how on earth did Michael Grant get through that?
Well, that was an unbelievable round, and the punches that went in from Lennox Lewis. How Michael Grant is still in this fight. He's been asked if he's all right. He said he is, but he took some unbelievable shots. The last right hand, it was just like he'd been shot.
Well, one of the big questions in this fight is, did Grant have a dodgy chin? Did Gallotta expose the fact that his punch resistance could be questionable, to put it mildly? And I think we've got our answer.
Ian, we said if Lennox Lewis is focused, if Lennox Lewis is aggressive, he can do this to any man he hits.
Huge right uppercut, then a chopping right for the first one. Here comes knockdown 2.
He's all over the place at this stage. There's little shots going in. The final right hand, just the legs went from under him, and only the corner just kept him up there. And the last one, that right hand, it didn't look he'd ever get up from that one. That was a beautiful chopping right hand.
Here's the second round. Lewis is going for it. No caution here. He's been described as too laid back and cautious, Lewis, but once he's got his man softened, usually he's been a very good finisher in the past. He's just looking to pick the shots. If Grant comes back from this, it would be the biggest comeback surely in heavyweight history. Good left hand there from Grant. How explosive do you like your heavyweight championship fights?
Well, the Americans wanted somebody that could fight, somebody that was aggressive and was exciting. They've got one in Lennox Lewis.
Now the right cross. Lewis really going for it here. He's gambling.
Step back.
He has to be a little bit careful. He just doesn't get caught and tagged by one himself.
He has to be careful. He hasn't got to get too wild. Do it behind the job. Pick his punches. Just be cool.
But he knows he has the power
Let's go.
to send Grant's head spinning.
Come on. Right here.
He's still fighting through a haze, I think, Grant. He's fighting on instinct. Maybe all that conditioning in North Carolina may get him through for a little while. Who knows? Or is it just a case of waiting for the next Lewis humdinger?
Well, in close like that, this is where Lennox comes into his own. He's so physically strong. He can pull himself loose and get the hands free to get the punches on.
Let go of the head. Michael. Break.
Grant's corner
Stop holding, Mike,
desperately
now.
hoping his head might clear. Remember, against Andrew Gallotta, Grant came back from 2 knockdowns in the first round to win the fight, but these are big right uppercuts now, and Lewis has him holding on for dear life.
Well, all that training, all that conditioning is the only thing that's keeping Michael Grant on his feet.
It's a big right hand from Grant. It got through. Lewis took it though. It was a big shot from Michael Grant, whose big chance is turning so far into a big nightmare.
Step back.
I don't think he hardly knows where he is at the moment, Michael Grant. He's just getting through on conditioning and instincts, and there's a right uppercut, and that might be the end of it. It lays him out. 4 is the count. 5, 6, he's not going to make it. 7, 8, he's not going to make it. It is all over. Knocked out, round 2. The world heavyweight title stays in Britain with Lennox Lewis.
Well, what about that for performance? I thought it would be a tremendous fight. I thought Lennox could do it early, and all it needed was Grant to take the fight to him, and Lewis just came alive and found the shots to finish it.
Michael Grant could never get into that. Down 4 times in the fight, and Lewis has restated his case here. The best that America has to offer among its new generation of heavyweights, totally wiped out and destroyed by Britain's king of the sea.
He's just been asked where he is and what's happened. He's just said, I'm just getting knocked out in the second round. He's got a sense of humor as well.
What a performance from Lennox Lewis. And they say, some people, this man can't be exciting. They've forgotten Ruddock, they forgot Gallotta. Add Grant to that list after this. What a shot.
Unbelievable shot. Just found the gap that he needed. I said he's strong inside, he can get his arms out, he can find the space, and look at this uppercut. It almost lifted him off his feet.
Well, Grant's whole strategy was based on work rate and trying to get on the inside. And we were talking, weren't we, earlier this week, and saying if he gets on the inside, he better watch out for Lewis's right uppercut. There it goes.
Well, he delivered it perfectly, didn't he? And you know, I mean, he really is putting a statement out there. This is something, you know, this is the best contender out there. This is the only man that had a chance with Lennox Lewis. This is the only guy who could take the fight to him and maybe get to him. And what happened? He just got blown away.
Back at the Garden, he didn't need the judges this time. They were never going to be called on.
Let Lennox through. Let Lennox through. I'm strong. I'm strong.
Strong, says Michael Grant. But
Good job,
Lennox really, in the harsh, hard world of professional boxing, just blew him away.
Yes, he did. He's a very good champion, and he did that so well. He's so happy with that. That really threw a message across America and the world. He's the best one out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes, 53 seconds into round number 2. The winner by knockout victory, and still the universally recognized, undisputed, true heavyweight champion of the world, from East London, England, Lennox Lewis.
Fireworks to celebrate. Were you watching, WBA?
Well,
were you watching?
That was the biggest slap in the face the organised body WBA could have had.
How can they put on a world heavyweight title fight between Holyfield and John Ruiz and expect anyone to keep a straight face after watching that? There's no doubt in anyone's mind in the world, bar about 10 guys obsessed with boxing politics, that this is the number one.
Well, it was a complete joke. Absolutely. He stripped that thing when he stepped in the ring, and it just made a mockery of that. He is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
There's the punch stat for you. But really, you don't have to bother about statistics. It was all there before your very eyes. Grant on the canvas 4 times, and he was never, ever going to get up from that last right uppercut, as we are surrounded now by confetti falling all around the arena. Well, maybe that's appropriate too, because there's some talk of wedding bells for Lennox Lewis somewhere down the line. I think his lady was here somewhere tonight.
All right, thank you, Jim.
Here we go. Here's Lennox.
Congratulations, Lennox. You thought that because of what happened in Grant's last fight with Galata when he got knocked down in the first round, that he wouldn't be so bold. Were you shocked that he came at you the way he did?
Yeah, I was shocked. I said if he came at me, it was going to be a short fight. You know, I was surprised when they said he was going to come at me, straight at me. I was surprised because I'm the hardest fight in his whole career. He's been boxing against B-class opponents. Now he's moved up against A-class opponents, and I was really surprised.
What were your thoughts at that moment? Did it take you a moment to gather yourself and say, okay, I'm just going to wait and see, look for openings?
Yeah, I realized that, you know, after I was throwing my jab, he kept on putting his head down. So I realized I got more superior speed. He's never seen a boxer like me, so, you know, I felt very confident going in there.
Did anything he threw at you and landed have any effect on you?
No, not really, because most of the time I've seen when he was winding up. You know, he came in there pretty gutsy. He's a good young fighter. He definitely should keep it up.
We're going to take a look at the final knockdown that resulted in the end of this fight, and I want you to look at it and tell me. Now, aren't you holding him at the same time as you're punching him?
Well, no, not really. He was actually he put his head down, so I just kept his head in one position so I could get a good shot at it.
Could you tell that after the knockdowns in the first round that he wasn't all there coming out in the second round?
Well, I realized, you know, if I hit him and he went down, all I have to do is keep on hitting him. Like I said, you know, he got up against Galata, but if he dared to get up against me, I'll just hit him again. And, you know, more time, it's just going to be harder and harder.
Your trainer, Emmanuel Stewart, has wanted you to be aggressive, says that you have needed to show passion, to go after opponents, to produce exciting, dramatic results. Have you been listening to him too well? Is this what you were hoping for?
You know, I say styles make fights, you know, and I believe that Michael Grant was a perfect style for me to showcase some of my talent. You know, if he would have moved in the later rounds, I would have showed a bit more. But, you know, I don't get paid for overtime.
So, in effect, you're saying that you are who you are, and if the fighter comes to you, then he can expect the incoming as well as the outgoing.
I just come to conquer. That's all. Just come to conquer. Any guy that steps in front of me get knocked out straight away. You know what I mean?
After two major fights, the two biggest fights of your life last year against Evander Holyfield, and finally conquering the mountain, get to where you wanted for so many years, were you either concerned that maybe unconsciously you would let down here, or did you feel this is going to even make you better somehow?
It's just going to make me better. I improved with each fight. You know, the two fights against Evander Holyfield were just, you know, just one step to greatness.
Thank you very much. You were great tonight,
Thank you.
Lennox Lewis.
I'd just like to thank